Does it feel like to be back in front of the fans and everything and just, in the fight week routine once again?
Yeah, it's so good to be back. This is like the feeling I was craving for. Even before my pregnancy, so I was like trying to fight November, December, but the UFC wasn't like clearing me. And then I got pregnant. So even before I got pregnant, I was like, man, I want to be back. I want to be back fighting. I want to show like I can make weight. And not to be back here with the fans and all the supporters, it's so great. I was telling my coaches like in the waiting room to come out. I said, man, this is just an open workout and I'm already feeling like the butterflies, it's really good.
Yeah, we were talking to Michelle just before you and she said how amazing it was the fact that you're coming back 4 months after your birth. Did you think that you'd be able to come back this quick, and what did you have to do to get yourself physically prepared to fight?
I knew I would be back fast, because I was telling my manager, telling everyone, I'm going to be back as soon as I can start training, I'll be back. And they say, well, let's wait and see, okay, Mackenzie, let's wait and see. And I know I'd be back, I just didn't know, if the labor was like C-section or something was to happen. But as soon as I had the labor, everything was normal, was okay. I got back to training, and the 2 weeks after I talked to my manager, hey, when is my next fight? Can I do October? I wanted to fight October, and then had this date that was it's Kids Day in Brazil, National Kids Day in Brazil, so it's an even better day to fight.
Yeah, very interesting. And obviously you're pregnant and stuff, so you had to deal with that. But in terms of your training and the development of your skill set, of course your ground game is always there. But how have you been getting better over this time?
Yeah, I think my jiu-jitsu was the thing I of course I worked my jiu-jitsu, but was the thing I least worked, just because I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 23 years, so of course I need to remember and get my timing back. But I really focused my wrestling and my Muay Thai, because those were my weaker points, so the whole camp was 8 weeks strong, Muay Thai strong, wrestling, and I really had a private camp this time. It wasn't part of a team, I trained at Black House MMA, but I had just my coaches for me, not that's training lots of athletes and everything. So I think that was the best thing to help me during this camp.
And we talked to Amanda earlier. She was out doing her open workout. She was doing a lot of grappling and everything, and she seems to have no concerns or fear of going to the ground with you. Is that a bad idea on your part?
I definitely think grappling is probably maybe the worst chance, because that's my best part. But I think she's gonna have to train a lot of years to get to my experience of grappling. But the fact that she is a black belt, I kind of figured, out of all the girls I fight, she's probably the one that's less concerned, because she does have that black belt background and judo black belt background too. They have good base and good ground game, even though it's judo takedowns, but judo has a ground game too. So I figured that if out of all the girls I fight, she's probably one of the ones that I feel the most comfortable if they go to the ground.
Do you think she's the toughest test you faced so far in your career?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Just because, she only has one fight in the UFC. The other, Ashley Oder and Amanda, they both had more fights than this Amanda. But I think just coming back from the pregnancy, and she just got off a win, And I think that the best part of athletes is the confidence, So I know she's really confident. When I did an interview saying that the UFC had just told me her name, her and her team were the first ones yes, we want this fight. So I know that she's really confident, and the confidence is the biggest key in an athlete. They cannot train anything, but if they're confident, they can go and surprise everyone.
And we hear your baby in the background right now. What's it like having her around, during fight week?
And it's really cool. It's a new experience, but it kind of keeps me focused, not letting everyone's expectations and all the talk, what's going, they had the thing of Michelle Watterson and Joanna, the weight cut and everything, and so it's just keeping me focused, and her smiles, keep me happy, and the weight cut is going great, so I have her in. I think the breastfeeding helps with the weight cut, so to have her here with me, all the time in breastfeeding, it's keeping my weight down and good.
That's something I want to ask you. Obviously, your body undergoes through a lot of changes during pregnancy. How's the weight cut going? Is it any different? You're saying it seems easier, right?
Yeah, I woke up this morning 118, so I have still one more day for 2 pounds, 216 or 3 pounds, 1215. This for sure is the best weight cut I've ever had. And I have eating, I'm not eating so much, but I'm not starving, so it's good. I can just focus on technique, and that's the first,
Are you surprised or shocked about that? Because one would expect the opposite, right? It'd be much harder.
Yeah, I'm so surprised. I'm just as surprised as like the fans, you know, but I'm going with the flow. I hope that after the fight, it doesn't like go shooting up. You know, I don't think it will be. It will go shooting up. Before I got pregnant, it was like every fight I went down, I would go back to my weight and a little bit more. And each time was a little bit more. And each time was harder and harder to lose weight. Like almost my body kept holding on. I didn't want to go through that whole experience. So now I feel like I kind of started over new. And it feels good. I feel like the best weight cut ever. I'm really surprised.
And then regarding the situation for the main event, did they offer you to fight as a replacement?
No one came to me, asked me like fight or replacement. Honestly, I think it was just like, you know, everyone expects me to not make weight, you know, so they say probably Mackenzie's not going to make weight, and if Joanna doesn't make weight, they can do a catch weight, you know, but I guess it was a surprise for everyone that I'm like, you know, 118 and everything, so, but just like rumors.
You have your daughter here. You also said your dad's going to be in the corner for the first time.
Yeah.
Those are obviously very exciting things, but do they add any extra pressure on you at all?
Not pressure, but I mean, one of the biggest things to have my dad in my corner was like to not be too emotional. I didn't want emotions to be involved, you know, from his part and my part. That's why my last few years as black belt, he was like my coach, of course, but he was on the outside. I didn't have him on the right away corner. Just because, you know, when you mix like all the love and emotion you have for someone, you want someone that wants the best for you, but they are emotionally like, you know, they don't get too emotional. So I am excited to see how it'll be. I'm going to know my daughter's going to be at the arena, you know. I don't know if she'll be in the locker room with me. We'll see. But, yeah, I'm excited. You know, I don't feel any pressure with it. Of course, I want to make them both proud. But I'm excited to see if I'm going to hear his voice like a lot. You know, how is it going to be?
You mentioned up on stage you lost a lot of fans when you gave birth. I just thought you said in an interview that you lost like 20K followers.
Yeah.
Or something. What's that? I mean, what's your reaction when you see something like that? And does that like hurt you a little bit, or is it just something that brushes off your shoulder? How?
You know, it kind of like made me a little bit kind of colder, you know, in a sense. You know, I'm a very like smiley person, and like I was always treating the fans good. And then in jiu-jitsu we don't have that, you know, like where people kind of one day they're your fans and the next day they like don't like you, you know. So I always knew that I have like all my followers, I have like haters, and I have people who want to see if I'm going to fail, and people who want to see if I'm going to win. But when I saw that, I said, you know, it's okay. So that's how it is, you know. Like if I get pregnant, it's such a good thing, pregnancy, you know. Like it's something like that. So I kind of thought, okay, I need to be a little bit more less emotionally connected to the fans. But it's okay, you know. I think and I gained 20,000 back after, you know. So I think it's a different type of fans now, you know, people who like really are inspired maybe by me and stuff like that. But I think it was good. It kind of cleaned out the bad energy and everything. Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think it is that you get that kind of reaction? What is it about maybe your personality? You're obviously very nice. You don't rub people the wrong way. But why do you think you get that kind of reaction from fans, where they sort of put the microscope on you so much like that to see what you're going to do, if you're going to fail? Why?
I think because I've failed before, you know, and I think maybe because I went into MMA from a jiu-jitsu world, so I went into MMA with a lot of attention, like way more than a lot of you know, first-time pro fighters. I never did amateur, I never did anything, so I think from the right away, people are like, so why is this girl, like, she just started MMA, she has all this attention, you know, and you know, just the normal, I think. Like when people see some people having success so fast, you know, I know they have people who've been working hard for things for years and years, and then see this girl come in and already kind of going kind of fast track to the title or the attention and all these things. It can be kind of like frustrating, and people don't understand why, you know. They think like, oh, it's I don't know, she's fake, or she's this, or oh, she just gets liked because she's pretty, you know, and all these things. So I think that's because that's why.
Any reservations taking a fight with a fellow Brazilian?
Yeah, I didn't like ask for the fight. It was the only person they offered me, and I wanted to get back at her. But for sure, like deep inside, I said, oh man, like I wish I would just fight her maybe for the belt or something like that, you know, not just for like my first fight back. But it's part of the job, you know. I know for sure we're gonna put on a great fight.
Maybe a little more, not pressure, but more pride on the line because, you know, two Brazilians getting in there.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think because I'm Brazilian and American, you know, it's a little bit kind of like people are gonna cheer for the real Brazilian, you know, and gonna say, and I know that like if I win, then the Brazilian's gonna be like, oh yeah, she's real, you know, and so it all depends. And if I lose, like, oh yeah, because she's half, you know. So it's part of it. I feel a little pressure on that point, but I see at least what the people saying, like, oh, my heart is torn, I'm cheering for the both, I hope that neither of them get hurt and stuff like that.
You mentioned your question.
Last one. You're good. Oh, do you have one? No, you're good.
You said your dad's going to be in your corner here for the first time. I had you on my radio show like a year or so ago. I think you were making your debut, and it slipped my mind. But you do have a nickname that not many people know about. It's kind of a spin-off of your dad's nickname. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Megatona. Megatinha, but now I'm a dog, so Megatona. But Megatinha is my nickname. It's like little Megaton. And Megatinha, Gatinha is like pretty girl, so like a very pretty girl, It's funny. Like my dad's name is Megaton, so that's good to remember that. Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you. I know where to go.